Yes.
But they have up to 2 minutes climbing.
Up to 2 minutes preview.
All right.
Yeah.
Or price. Sorry.
Videos looking all good.
All right.
Hey, can you turn your mic on and give me a mic check 1, 2?
Mic check 1, 2. Mic check. Yep. Beauty.
And I have you off right now, so you don't have to do that.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know when I'm on. I'll just keep it muted for now.
Yeah, when they're doing
It's so
it.
funny.
Just
I
holler when I'm
downloaded
on.
like a copyright-free like mix, EDM mix, and I haven't even listened to it yet. And I don't know what's playing out there. Like I have no idea what's happening. People are either gonna hate this or love it. It's like, I'm sorry. I don't know.
And during the rap preview, we can like.
Well, I heard mic check 1, 2. That's good.
introduce to.
So I'll just keep
you
it
wanna
muted.
let us know
I'll
if
keep
you
it back
can
until you're. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do. Okay, hold
You
on.
can
one
do
second.
that like when
I was gonna say if you wanna fire me up, like now I can. Well, when are we? Tomas.
starting
When are
like.
we bringing the first?
Okay, here, let's do this. Let's do it.
I'm gonna do like a minute or two just to be like, okay, guys, we're in finals, blah blah blah. We're getting ready to start, and then we'll bring people.
Okay, then we'll
Okay,
be
we're
ready
gonna
for
find a
that.
spot to do this real quick.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Ready.
All right, welcome back. We're at the Ice Coop in Boulder, Colorado. We are getting ready to start the finals. We got the ladies starting here in just a few minutes. Cedar, or sorry, not Cedar. God. Sorry, I had a few between. We got some amazing route setting going on. Marcus just absolutely crushed it. Tomas has been in here working on it. I don't know if you can look around. These routes are just going to be obscenely fun to watch. We get the ladies coming in just a minute or two. The guys are going to start at 7 p.m. I believe. We're getting ready to start finals. We've got a watch party going on over at Vision Quest Brewing next door. If you can, get down here. If you can't, hopefully you can watch from home. This is going to be awesome. All right, you guys. You ready? All right. Getting started. Do we have a running order?
So women's route is Cape White.
Okay.
So and the start is down here with this hole.
Okay.
All right. So the way that the finals format is going to work, all our competitors are going to have
So go ahead
2
and-
minutes, up to 2 minutes for the preview. They're going to be able to walk their routes. They're going to check things out. They're not allowed to touch any of the holds. It's all kind of on site. They get 2 minutes to walk around, preview, figure out whatever
On
they're
this
looking
one,
at.
the pick goes above.
Okay,
pick-
anywhere this way.
Your feet can go below, but the pick cannot go below this white line.
Got it.
And then here you have
Tomas walking Erica through her route right now. They get up to 2 minutes of preview time, and then they're going to have 6 minutes climbing time. This is a red point style
11.
competition. They will have as many goes as they want on the route, or
12,
as many goes as they can handle on the
13,
route.
14,
It is
15, 16.
basically kind of an on-site preview. They're allowed to come in. They're not allowed to watch any of the other competitors' time. They are allowed to just walk into that 2 minute preview and run up and down, essentially
Thank you.
figure out as much as they possibly can, and then they start climbing. So this is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Got Erica Gibbons. She's inspecting this first route, figuring out where it goes. Reading the route is definitely a crux on these things, especially when Marcus gets to really set and when he has his way in the gym for a couple of hours with nobody watching. You never know what he's going to throw at you. Erica rocking the Christmas pajamas.
Yeah.
Getting into the spirit. Finally took some time off of building a hot rod to come hang out with this time with me. Starting off strong on the roof. 90-degree angle, you are able to load these things in. And if you don't keep this tool exactly loaded, just dead on, it will spit you out. Looks like she's got her tool nice and squared up on it. Keeps keeping the tool squared. Once she makes the big move, the tool's good. Just gotta get the feet on this time. So again, the start holds on all these routes. The competitors must start with their tools matched on the hold. Once their feet leave the ground, they are considered starting on the route. So you can watch that tool. You can watch her skating around. You can watch her kind of trying to feel out the direction of the pole. These things are they're rock hard. Oh, it's turning sideways. That is so tenuous. Oh, there it is. Oh! Thought she got settled onto it. It just got super sideways on her for a second. So these holds are absolutely devious. Shame on Marcus for putting this in the
Really
first
exciting.
hold on. Jeez. What kind of monster is this guy? This is definitely going to be a fun route to watch for the rest of the night. These ladies are super strong, really, really good competitive climbers. There it is. Oh, it's turning sideways. It's turning sideways. Man, I wish we could show you Marcus's face right now. He is just off camera.
We need to be.
He's just giggling.
Having fun. We can.
So I think I mentioned earlier during qualifiers, there's a certain amount of pride that a route setter takes. Watching somebody get really physical and have a whole lot of fun on their routes, but also watching that route just like spit people off. It's just one of those. It's kind of, as a route setter, it's your piece of art, essentially.
Come on. Refocus. You need rest. Start over.
All right. There you go.
Come on. There you go.
There it is. Oh, it was there. You were on it. That was it. Had the tool settled. She had the position right.
What's the time check?
The hand just melted.
Thank you.
She's got 3:30 left on the clock. She's got lots of time to check this thing out and get through it. This is just a vicious start to a round. Coming off a big double tool undercling. High feet, especially with the rock shoes. With the
Come on.
with the monopoints. There it is. Oh, it's there.
Take a moment.
Yeah, regroup, breathe. You got lots of time. You got 33 minutes.
33 minutes, I hope not.
30? Okay, sorry. Don't listen to the guy with the mic. He has no idea what he's doing.
Marcus, we're gonna have words after this. Just kidding.
Marcus not winning any fans today.
Come on, you got it.
Come on, Erica.
Nice job.
Can't wait to see the other ladies go. Yeah. I just want to know how to. But yeah,
Have a good view of it. This thing is just rock hard.
Yeah, Sam. Work with him, like you talk about that stuff and
I'm coming out of a big double undercling hole in this roof onto this like just rock hard things. I don't know if, like the tools, you can obviously see these things skating off. I don't know what they have inside them, but they are rock hard. They don't allow the pick to bite in at all. With a lot of plastic holds, you can kind of wobble the pick around, you can dig into it, you can really get the point to bite in. This thing, you don't get any luxury of that. Like it is literally the perfect tool position or nothing at all. Obviously, as Erica figured out the hard way, it's just a tough hold to use. So the fact that this is the second hold, basically the first move off of this route, is this thing is going to be. I think it's going to give a lot of people a lot of trouble. I think the people that get through this move, looking at the rest of this route, going up this log across to the big hanging pyramid, and then moving through the corner and around over to this volume, it looks like it crosses out. Yeah, crosses out onto this big hanging log, goes across the door, finishes over in the Zone 2 cave. This is going to be a really rowdy route, just looking at it kind of with climbing guides. This thing is going to be a heck of a lot of fun to watch.
on that.
Essentially, I think
So you put it in here?
other than the physical crux, the technical crux of this thing is really going to be moving past that first move.
Except where it's red.
Okay.
So that's
Moss
4,
given
5, 6,
Okay.
7, 8, 9, 10. That is an edge in an aluminum block with an edge. This thing here. So the edge is on this side. Yeah. So that's full 10. So 11, there's a pocket drilled in there. 12. 13 in the side. 14 another. 15 up. 16.
So, okay. So it's the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Okay.
So you got 30 seconds to start.
I don't know what the heck on this one. Never seen that before.
So physical crux of this thing is going to
So I'm going above there.
Yes.
Okay. Oh my god.
That's
All right.
everybody. Approval? I don't know. You're doing great, Steve.
Oh my god. We'll see if I can make it to the first freaking hole.
You got it.
Anytime?
Yep.
You're off the ground. I got hit in the shoulder with a piece of hole that just broke off. That's good. From across the room. That's how hard Beth pulls. She breaks holes and they hit people across the room. Nice. Alright, your way out. Nice. Onto the hanging pyramid. Alright.
Come on.
Nice work. Come on. There you go.
Come on.
Stay with it.
Come on, man.
Relax. Come on. You got it. Come on.
Oh, maybe I should stay on.
You got it, Beth.
Oh, shit.
I feel like I should give you that. That was a long time. We've been fighting for a long time.
That was so stupid. I've got wicked cock now.
I'm working on my.
Oh, so his mic is loud too. Oh,
Yes. Between yours, trying to keep it balanced. Perfect.
Come on, man.
We are working on the red points out. Nice. sometimes you're able to kind of brace for it. Sometimes you just have no idea that your tool's going to blow it. Standing up and walking out of here, she was like, "Oh, that calling it early, that hurt." So what do we got next up, Lindsay Hastings? All right, we got Captain Freedom Pants, Lindsay Hastings coming in. So Lindsay is part of Team USA, the mixed climbing team. She is fully representing USA right now. She's got the Stars and Stripes tights. She's got the USA puffy. She has a Stars and Stripes puffy that I wish she would have worn tonight. That would have been absolutely beautiful. She is going to come in. I think she's going to give this place a heck of a show. Super strong. She's only been climbing a handful of years, but watching her just absolutely evolve as a climber has been super, super impressive. So right now, it looks like Tomas has given her the 2-minute preview. He's running her through the route. He's explaining the use of the log at the moment, which is there's certain areas of the log that are taped, certain areas that are marked off bounds. So on this particular log feature, if you look up at the top of this thing, there's a red line. They are not allowed to use anything above the red line. So they can't heel hook, they can't throw a leg, they can't hook a tool over the top of it. So anything from down here and over is good. And then everything from this tape forward, so they have this usable space right here. Anything on this side is off bounds, everything above this red line is off bounds. So they're really, really kind of limiting them to what terrain they can use on this log.
One more minute on preview, Lindsay. Okay. Can I touch the holds or?
With your hands, yeah.
Okay.
The timer is all 1 minute until her preview time is over. She is allowed to touch the holds and feel them to feel their legs. She's not allowed to touch them unless she wants to feel what they actually feel. She can kind of sort them out, get a feel for the hardness, and especially that second leg, first round. Those things are, they're not what they're made out of. They're made of some sort of low hard plastic, actual stone setting, so they don't allow the tool to bite in that hole. They make very easy. Stop right away when I say that. That's just like, so that's Swedish stone, Swedish plastic. So I'm getting word that is Swedish stone. Japanese stones are the displeasure of standing off of many of those holes. Girl.
Come on.
Nice. Come on. Yeah.
What?
Yes. Stars and stripes on. For democracy, ladies. Come on, man.
Come on, Lindsay.
Come on. I don't think it happened to me.
They're all holds you know.
Thank you.
That's a good fight.
Proving to be really difficult. You come up into this guy, which, you know, if you look at this thing, it wants to swing, it wants to spin, like it's just brutal. So first hole, they're coming up with this guy. They're coming off of the log, assuming they make it this far. This thing is pretty good. It's pretty positive. You get a big wide reach. Once you're set on this, they're going to be in an inversion. It makes it really hard to see this number 6 hole. But once they get up on top of that, if they can get their momentum, I think if they get their foot front pointed into this log, they get their momentum rocking, and they start twisting, they get over to this upside down kettlebell with the stalactite. It's super physical, very technical. Like it's no joke climbing. Looks like Keiko's coming in. She's on her 2-minute preview with Tomas.
2, 3,
Tomas, we're
4.
working
So, tool above the line,
Okay.
feet can be below.
Okay.
But tool above the line, of course below right.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7,
walking around down these routes. These are just ultra physical
11,
and ultra technical.
13,
Keiko laughing at the video of him just quantity of holds that she's about to face. And And I don't blame her. I'm walking up and down all of these routes, and I'm giggling too. Most of our qualifier routes, these things were 9, 10 moves. The ladies, this finals route, this thing goes 10 routes deep, or 10 holds deep, or sorry, 17 holds deep. The men's route, I'm not sure how far it goes. I see one hold that says 16. The finish is way over there. Looks like 22 holds maybe. So these routes are, 2-3 times longer than what we saw in the qualifiers. And these qualifiers were already fairly tough. So they're throwing a lot of technicality at you, but they're also throwing an immense amount of just physicality because you have to be able to hold on for that long. Keiko's getting her gloves taped up, getting them all nice and tight. She's got the pink tiger stripe tools, the ice coop jersey. She is ready to send, folks. All right, Keiko. Breathe through, start on this double underthing. So again, the competitors have to start with both tools matched on the first hole. Once they're hitting the ground, they're considered long route. If they fall off, tool, if anything goes wrong, they have to restart the spot. So obviously you can see that Swedish service hold. Watch, she had that thing pretty square, but it just absolutely skated on her. She's got it loaded just off the corner. This is so tenuous right now. Basically one little bobble there, she resets that tool. Moves her hand up into second position, drops back to first. Very, very smart climbing. Resetting. Just doing some kind of crazy yoga. Come on, there it is. I don't know how her legs bent that direction, but holy mackerel, that my hips popped 3 times just watching that move. Nice. She went straight to the 6 hold. Skipped the 5. That was beautiful. Rather than going up through the log into 4, and then out to the bottom 5 hold, she just went straight to 6 on the hanging pyramid. That looks super advantageous. It's a little more physical, but it saves her a lot of movement in between, a lot of intermediate holds. So I think that's a really smart way to climb.
Yeah, come on.
So this is going to be definitely one of the physical cruxes of this route, is moving from 6 to 7. You see this little purple kind of upside down cowbell hanging above her, up and right, with the blue kind of stalactite hanging off the side of it. The stalactite's got a little pocket kind of augured in the side of it, and that's where that tool needs to go.
Come on, Keiko.
So where this thing gets super hard is, so she's pressing off that log, she's got her feet, she's got almost a knee bar, she's kind of wrapped around. Come on, Keiko. So the top of this hanging pyramid is a handful of pieces of cord all suspended on kind of one piece of webbing on one carabiner off the roof. So this whole thing wants to really spin on you. There's no, if you have 2 cords, it'll rock on you, but it won't spin. This thing is rocking and spinning. So she is matching on the number 6 hold.
Come on, Keiko.
Yes, stay with it.
Yes.
Nice.
Come on.
Come on, Keiko.
So matched on this number 6 hold on this hanging pyramid. This thing is just absolutely devious. So this thing wants to spin, it wants to rock, it wants to do basically anything other than what you need it to do, which is to stay still and offer you the chance to kind of press off that log with that foot to get out to that stalactite. She is so close to that thing.
Come on.
Come on, Keiko.
She's touching it. I see the cowbell rocking and rolling.
Come on.
Come on, Keiko.
You got it.
Come on, Keiko.
You got it. That's swinging.
So this is where the endurance really pays off. The fact that she has just been hanging upside down, swapping from figure 4 to figure 9, just being able to hold these inversions is just absolutely key. She's got both legs fully wrapped around this thing. Oh, she's right there. She's just got to hook that. There's one drilled pocket inside this stalactite that she's got to be able to hook. She's got the swing. Oh. Oh, come on, Keiko. She is right there.
Come on, Keiko.
Ah. Can hear her breathing hard, hanging upside down. She is definitely feeling the effects of this thing. And she times out. Nice effort. Ducks out of the way as the tool comes off. This is going to be a very, very fun route to watch. Seeing how physical this thing is. You know, even I just kind of walking through, it's like, oh yeah, it's one of those you kind of, you hook here, you hook there, and then you move off to this. It's one of those you can kind of visualize really easily, but making the physical moves to make this thing happen are just, it's ridiculous. That stalactite, I don't know if you can pan up to this thing. It's got this one little tiny, just kind of drilled pocket in it, and that is literally all you have to hit. So you are on a hanging upside down pyramid that is spinning and rocking, moving around, and you are trying to move off of this high hold while you are upside down with not really a lot to press off of. You're going to see the competitors, they're pressing their foot into this this log, but obviously the log is just kind of flopping around too. So anything that these guys get their feet onto is not solid. So they're pressing off of stuff that's really not there to support them very well. And to make this giant move over to this drilled pocket on the stalactite is it's a heck of an ordeal. It's going to be really impressive. I have no doubt one of our competitors at least is going to make this move. We've got some really, really strong ladies in the building right now. Corey Bouhet, she's on her 2-minute preview right now. She's kind of working her way through, checking things out, figuring out what the holds look like, where she wants to put her tools, where she wants to put her feet, how she's going to control her body. So you can see her visualizing the route, figuring out her tools, kind of visually matching, working her feet through. Got 1 minute left for her 2-minute preview section. So again, this is one of those routes where, you know, I kind of walked it just based on my real quick, you know, quick scan of it. It was one of those you're like, oh yeah, this isn't going to be too bad. Like you kind of feel your way through it. You look at it and you kind of know what you're doing. But these holds and these big swinging volumes that these competitors are on are just absolutely they're anything but straightforward. So I think we're going to see a lot of competitors kind of walk through, and I think they're maybe going to look through this initial section, especially because it's early on in the route. They're feeling strong, they're feeling confident. I think they might breeze through and kind of overshoot some of the technicalities of this little section, and it's obviously it's showing to be super physical and really technical. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So we got Corey Buhe. She is looks like she's our final lady competitor. So essentially, she's just got to make that stalactite hold, and she's gonna have herself a podium. She's no stranger to these Swedish stone holds. She goes onto it straight away with the sideways tool. Knows exactly what she's doing with how she wants to load this thing. Works her way onto the Ice King hold. Matches tools, kicks into the box. She's looking across over at the log. There's one particular pocket she really wants. Gets the tip of that tool buried in there. Takes a couple of swings, doesn't like either of the swings. Moves over to the end of the log. Figures out mid swing that the fifth hold is right there in front of her. Opts to move straight onto the hanging pyramid. And this one, she's got the big blind reach up and around the corner. Nice, makes the reach. Switches into the figure 4, drops into a figure 9. Figuring out how she needs to go about getting over to this stalactite on this upside down cowbell looking hold. Again, super physical. This hanging pyramid, bucking around, spinning, rocking, doing anything other than what she's really wanting to do, which is just to stay still. Sets her eyes on the log, starts pushing off the log. The hanging pyramid's got her spun around kind of to the dark side, not the side she wants to be on. This is where the endurance really comes in clutch. She's able to reach out. She's trying to toe into the wall, toe into the log. Basically anything that she can do to really control her swing, control her rotation. Come on, Corey. Moving back and forth between tools, figuring out which tool she really wants to set. She's got the figure 9, she's got the figure 4s. She is working hard, folks. Back and forth, back and forth. She's going into a figure 4. She's got some momentum. This is a really precision move.
Come on, Corey.
So she's got the log swinging, she's got the pyramid swinging, she's got the cowbell swinging. And somehow she's got to manage to find a 1/2 inch diameter hole with the pick of her tool while all of this is going on. Oh, she is right there. Come on, Corey. Oh. All right, so this is a red point style competition, so she's come off this route. She's allowed to come back on as long as she is climbing within her 6-minute window. So she has 2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. So the good news is she has worked out this bottom section of this route. I think she's got plenty of time. She knows the beta. She can work her way through. Come on, Corey. See her working really hard. She's got her game face. She's breathing, trying to control that breathing, swinging into the end of the log. Just secure enough to move off of. She gets onto that 5th hold on the hanging pyramid. She's looking to match tools. Oh. Definitely getting pumped at this point. Corey swinging into the end of that log, rocking and rolling, getting that swinging pyramid just wiped out. She's got 30 seconds to get back on, working that tool loose. It's nice soft wood on the log, which means you can get a really good solid tool swung into it. Makes your tool really hard to get back out though. Currently, we've got, it looks like a 3-way tie for the ladies between Keiko, Corey, and Beth Growski. So I'm conferring with the judges at the moment. We're trying to figure out, or I'm trying to figure out what they have in mind as far as how to do a tiebreaker, because we have a 3-way tie right now. Based on my kind of past experience, I think they will take whoever has the highest score through qualifying. So they call it a 3-way tie in the final, and then they work their way down into qualifiers, and whoever has the highest score is going to end up on the podium. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to find out. I got to confer with the judges, make sure that I'm saying the right thing. I could be very much off. I have no idea right now, but we'll figure that out at some point. The ladies competitors are looks like they're all wrapped up. So we've got the guys, the men starting at Eric Gomez starting. They're scheduled to start at 7. What time is it? 6:52. All right, so it looks like Eric Gomez is probably out in the warm-up area right now. We've got about 5-6 minutes until he comes in to get his preview. So yeah, keep it tuned. We'll get after it. Okay.
All right, great job, guys. This is fantastic. I don't know. When I was talking, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, sounds great." And I was like,
I was just talking like this with the mask on, and everything was totally fine.
Now people are like, I can't hear anything. You totally just screamed all that over the speakers. Because you unmuted yourself.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, no, you're good. When the video's off, it doesn't mean the audio's off. It's okay, I caught it. Anyway, yeah, so the best thing, this is so funny because neither of us have ever done a live stream before, and now we're like trying to make this production because there's a bunch of people watching it out there.
Yes!
So I think what the difference is Okay, that's just the music.
You're like, oh god, there's more green.
Yeah. So basically, when this afternoon, there was more people in here, more sound going on. You were talking louder. At the beginning of this finals, you were talking really soft.
I'm trying to like not.
So I know,
I'm like announcing what they're doing, but I'm like trying to not get in
honestly,
their head of like, yeah, they're on their this thing's impossible. It's get everybody
honestly,
sorry,
I have a tendency to think that won't affect me. Because it's like, look, especially with the map.
You're like so, yeah.
You're not hearing you. You're trying to climb. So top of sheet 1. We're basically doing this now for the people of Drytool. Like we're trying to put on a show for them. We're killing it right now. So basically, I'm jumping between monitoring your guys' audio. Every break in between climbers we have, get the camera on you, announce, look at the camera like you're on TV. And that's exactly what's happening.
You are on TV.
So, legitimately. And so, just, you're on a big ass projector over there. So, we just want to.
Oh, okay. Wrong person. Okay. You wanted a battery for this.
Hey, Drew. Can she charge? Can Tyler's wife charge her phone on this? Can she use this?
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that cool?
I don't know who's that is.
This is Tyler's.
Take that.
Oh, I thought that was yours. We're good. Well, there you
I'm
go.
good. Cool.
Do you need a cord? You're good?
Yeah, I have one. It sounds good right now.
Everything's good? What else needs to change?
Everything's balanced right now.
Okay.
The music is good because I think you're like, I'm assuming you're fading out when they're just.
I'm like adjusting everything as we're every like 3 seconds I'm
I feel like
adjusting.
I have a remote with my phone, so I was like, turn the volume up.
Yeah. No, please just
Yeah, I'll
keep
be texting
telling
you.
me. What about the climbers sound?
I can hear it still.
So-
I think that's been solved the whole time.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
I'll let you know if
the
it's
camera
good.
at all?
Huh?
Do I turn it up in pain at all?
Okay, I'll text
The
you.
roads. I have it already set for video, so I can adjust it all right here.
Man, dude, I really want Corey to fucking get that thing. She's so close. They get to it. Why they gotta zoom like that?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have like really high feet, big tension on that. Reach. That's just a big cut.
It's easy. It's like it's
Yeah, but it's like super it's really positive, but it's gonna be a
it's positive.
Yeah,
but
but
you
swing.
get steel.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you swing too far, it's gonna spit you out sideways.
Are you filming?
You want me to
this thing
film it?
Yeah, are you free? No, I was wondering if you were filming, and I didn't want to walk in front of you. But since you offered,
Okay.
Yeah, she is like I know. I was like,
I think you should, if you have to use
Yeah.
it, just use it.
yeah, I was
Okay.
If you have to use it, just use it.
well, I think someone's in there.
yeah.
Not bad.
Bingo, Colorado, and been doing this kind of stuff for about 25 years.
Someone's different.
I started setting kind of programs. I started developing and learning how to set, to be able to educate them and teach them the movements that this sport requires, so we can compete against other countries and adopt and grow these climbers faster.
Suck it back in.
I do coach as well. Yeah, I teach a lot about the mechanics of movement and break it down and get these kids up to speed. And other people who come and take part lessons they want to perfect their climbing, both ice, rock, mixed climbing, Drytool, go to everything. Yeah, I have a climbing gym in Durango, Colorado. I teach out of.
Just out here trying to get a tool or something.
Rotated and swinging and moving exactly where you don't want it to be. Yeah. I think you definitely got the closest to this is like you were like age. Yeah, like you were like yeah, that was nerve.
2 minutes till I'm bringing them in. Does that work?
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna chill, you know.
Just
check
kinda-
on my
just kinda
messages,
here.
dog. You know. Man.
Start the 2 minutes. I'll take your scorecard, and then the start is over here. So I'll walk through. So there's the label form. Here's the start.
Him through, kind of showing him, pointing out the holds.
Really good.
So Tomas has basically given these guys the 15-20 second rundown, and then the climbers have another minute and a half or whatever's left over to really walk through, kind of glance at these holds, check out where they want to be, how they want to use them. A lot of these holds are very, very specific in how you put the tool on them. So essentially what Tomas is doing right now is walking them through, just kind of counting the holds out.
So this whole section is 19 down to here, 20, 21, finish.
So it looks like they're giving them 3 sections on the log. They have the end all the way down the side into the middle, and then this lower section, and then a big reach across from the end of the log out to the finish hold. So Eric's over in basically the back cave. This thing goes from the back cave all the way across the back cave, across the rodeo box, across the hanging door, across the hanging box, into the hanging pyramid, into the log. Like, this is just an absolutely mind-bending route. I can't even describe it. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch these guys climb. We've got some mega strong guys coming up. Eric Gomez, just absolute crusher. He's been climbing up in Vail. This guy is putting in, I think, more miles in the Vail Cave than anybody I know personally. He is just absolutely crushing this thing, climbing all these big, M12, M13, M14 test pieces in alpine boots and crampons, not using the monopoint, the specific climbing boots. All right, we are getting it going. So he has 6 minutes on this route. He has had his 2-minute preview. Decided he likes what he sees. He's going for it. So even the first couple of moves, pretty tenuous. Obviously very directional with the tooling. Pops that tool just as he's got the contact with the other hold. Cuts feet, manages to hold onto it. This thing is a burly undercling. Gets the tool reset, kind of stalls out a little bit, gets the tool reset, decides he likes it, moves onto it, and just pops out of that thing. So the body tension on this thing is absolutely incredible. I have actually been spit off of this particular hold in other formats many times. I'm unfortunately all too familiar with this little silver donut thing. It is not your friend. It does not want you using it. So again, match tools on that first hold. Once his feet leave the ground, is considered climbing. big crossbody side pull out onto this yellow volume. Probably one of the more solid holds on the route, and definitely not a gimme. It's another one you have to really, keep it. taking a big scary fall onto a tool. It's one of the unfortunate parts of this style of climbing is, when you're falling, every fall's a ground fall, and you're climbing with sharp things in your hand. If you happen to drop one of those and it bounces wrong and you fall on top of it, could be a bad day. So all of our competitors are very aware of the risk. Everybody's here, knowing what they have to do, and it's a lot of fun to watch. There it is. Grabbing the very end. Mark is shaking his head knowingly.
Yeah, man.
It's almost like Marcus knew what was happening there. Eric Billman is back on the men's final route. Getting those feet nice and set. Big reach out across. Just can't quite hold the silver donut. That undercling, that thing it's a really hard plastic. I'm not sure what type of plastic it is, but it's just not friendly for picks to really bite into. So it's one that you really have to. He's learned there. He just kind of put it in, tried to stein into it. It will not hold a stein. It is absolutely an undercling, which means he's got to get his feet kind of set down directly below it and really press up into those feet. Underclings they're solid as long as you keep them loaded right. But if you don't keep them loaded right, obviously your tool just spits out the bottom of them. Making that first kind of tenuous move across. It's a Swedish stone again. These things are bullet hard. They do not allow the tip of your pick to bite in at all. So being able to load them and keep them loaded super statically is absolutely the crux. You can see him checking it out and figuring out how he wants to load it next time. Marcus shaking his head, giving it the dog head tilt. It'll work. It's good enough. He's just got to make that. Oh, he's just got to make those feet work. He's got to get those feet transferred out. This is a massive move. Yeah. Yeah. So from the man himself, this is a huge compression move. So he gets that right tool on that Swedish stone he's on. And he's got to match. He's got to get that right tool into that. Now he's got to compress. He's got to squeeze those two holds together to get those feet. Yeah, there it is. Come on, Eric.
Come on.
He's got to keep that tool. He cannot stein that tool. He's got cannot stein that tool. You got to keep that thing in an undercling, which means you got to get high feet and really press up into it. Which, when you're pressing into it, nice work, dude. Nice, bud. So this route, holy mackerel. So I don't know if we can come over and take a look at this silver donut. This thing, obviously, it's bullet hard plastic, whatever it's made out of, some sort of resin. It does not, your tool will not stay stein pulled in it. If you try to stein, you can see that the head bit in somewhere here. It just wants to skate out. Your tip won't actually bite into it hard enough to where you can to where you can keep it engaged. So they've got to come off of this thing, hit this, and they've got to squeeze these things together and then somehow move the feet down, kick in here, but they have to kick their feet in high enough that they're pressing down into this thing, and they have to press up into it to keep it engaged. The undercling is, like, especially one on this style of hold, is so physical. We got these guys coming through.
5, 6.
So looks like JJ is getting the rundown from Tomas right now.
9,
Getting the
10.
5-cent preview, and then he'll have another minute or half or so to kind of work his way through. So the competitors are allowed to feel the holds with their hands. They're not allowed to touch them with their tools. They can put a finger on them, they can put a hand on them, they can figure out what they feel like, and kind of get it some sort of an idea of how to use them with the tool, but they're not allowed to use their actual tool on them during the preview, because this is essentially an on-site style competition. These guys get the 2 minutes to preview the route, and then once they get on it, like, that's it. They haven't touched the route. They haven't previewed the route at all other than these first 2 minutes. So Tomas walking JJ through the log. Coming down, he's got 3 very distinct zones marked off by the orange tape, with the big finish across over to that finish hold on the wall. So you can see JJ now, he's walking, kind of giving the route just one last glance, kind of feeling it out, seeing what he wants to do, how he needs to use these holds. All right, he's been given the green light. His 6 minutes starts now. Working across onto the Swedish stone. He's got it loaded sideways versus straight on. Sam holds. Oh, perfect. That'll be easy to remember. Ask me how I know. JJ tiptoeing his way across that volume, pulling into that under the cling, holding this lock off. That is so tenuous. But you can see what he's doing with that left foot on that volume. He's got his toes engaged, everything, core, legs. So that tool is super positive as long as you keep it loaded up. And now he's got to essentially rock. Oh man, this is gnarly. Marcus, what are you doing? Who hurt you? Dang. So it looks like we're gonna come through this. We're gonna come through this undercling, and then it's a Gaston out onto this really tenuous aluminum block with a tiny rail on it. And essentially, you have to slow motion fall out of an undercling onto the Gaston, which is just, this thing is unbelievably physical and technical, all wrapped into one. Holding the undercling and the lock off, super strong. Gets that Gaston, you can see that tool kind of skating around. Oh! Dab. Oh. Unfortunately, it had his foot blow. It hit the ground there, calling that a dab, calling him off, making him restart the route. So anytime a foot, and a competitor's foot comes off and hits the ground hard enough to where it can be considered a change in momentum, unfortunately, that is called a dab, and they have to restart the route. Working onto the Sam hold, my new favorite hold, even though I despise using them. Whew. Just pop loose on the undercling, barn doored onto that stone hold, and those things do not allow that kind of motion on them. They are one of those holds that once you load them, you have to be absolutely silent. And again, during qualifiers, I was explaining silent tools. If you watch him, how he moves onto this thing, you watch that tool. Once he gets that tool set, it does not move. It doesn't change angle. He just keeps it super, super constant. That's a really, really nice silent tool. Quiet tools. You can see him shaking. He is working hard, locked off in that undercling. Moves to the Gaston. Oh, and just comes out of the undercling. Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like feet a little bit higher. Yep. And then it's just So JJ getting back onto this route again. Can hear the few folks that are allowed in the gym right now. Everybody's cheering this guy on. This is a really close-knit community. Everybody here just loves and respects each other. Everybody's out here for the same thing. You know, obviously everybody's competing. Everybody wants to do the best. But the fact that everybody's friends in this room just absolutely... There it is. Come on, JJ. Yeah! Sets his way across that Gaston. Moving on to the rodeo box now. Oh, no! So I think just based on what I'm seeing, those first handful of moves working through onto the rodeo box is going to be the real technical crux of this route. Then you're going to get into the rodeo box, the overhanging door, another overhanging box, the overhanging pyramid, and the log. There's a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't want you attached to it. That's going to be the real massive physical crux. There are also some pretty technical moves based on the quick route walk. Even the physical stuff is going to be really, really technical in a handful of spots. But obviously, right now, what you're seeing, this first couple of moves, these things are it's so physical. Nice job, man. Marcus is just loving watching this route. So yeah, watching these guys come through this thing. I think the technical crux is honestly this move. Once they sink onto this tool, getting onto the rodeo box, they're going to have a lot of, once these guys get into the realm where they're comfortable, which is really physical, upside down, swinging around, cutting feet, figure fours, figure nines. Once they move through this kind of delicate position into all of this overhanging, free-hanging terrain, I think it's going to be really fun to watch. It's just going to be a matter of, honestly, just getting somebody to get through this technical crux. This thing is burly. Looking at it, there's no way I could do it. This little silver donut undercling, I think we're seeing people their feet. JJ obviously gave the best run on it. I think his feet were a little low still. Oh man, we got a Christmas vest now. This is a beautiful fashion statement. We had a Halloween a Halloween sweater vest earlier, and we got an ugly sweater Christmas vest. Tomas giving these guys the rundown. Essentially what he's doing right now is he is just counting the holds. He's basically showing them the basic lay of the land, showing them where they are. And then these guys are going to go through. Whoop, Tomas, there you go. So these guys are given the basic rundown of the route, where the numbers are, where the holds are, and then they're going to, essentially he's given them about a 30-second preview, and they have a 2-minute preview total. So they have another minute 30-ish to kind of reverse back through the route. They're going to walk through. They're going to look at exactly what kind of holds they are, like this little V thing in my right hand. It's a super physical, super technical hold. It's a technical hold on a big release. So he's over checking that SAM hold, checking the undercling. Looks like he's getting a good idea of what he wants to do with how he's wanting to hold these holds. Going through the block out onto the rodeo box. Time?
Okay. Perfect. And we're going to keep using it.
All right, we got Noah. High fashion sweater vest. He was in a jack-o'-lantern autumn sweater vest earlier. He has switched to Christmas. This guy is fast forwarding through the year, which given 2020, I don't blame him. Who wouldn't want to fast forward through this thing? Working his way across, he has figured out the SAM hold. Ooh! Comes off the undercling, almost drops into a stein. The whole hold creaks. Is very upset that he tried to use it as a stein. it was grumbling. Worked his way through the Gaston onto the rodeo box. Oh no! So Noah with the quick dispatch of the technical part of this route off these first handful of holds. Came through, moved through that really quickly. Shows a really good familiarity with this style of terrain, with these style of holds. Back in on his second go, so this is a red point format competition. These competitors have as many goes as they can fit into a 6-minute window. They have a 2-minute preview to check the route out, and then their time starts 6 minutes to climb. Oh, pulling that undercling just blows out of it. Fun fact, when you're pressing really hard up into an undercling and it explodes out from underneath you, you fly a long way because you're pressing with your entire body up into it. So it tends to look like a little bit of a diving board. All right, Noah back on for his third go on this thing. Catching the SAM hold. He's got these first handful of moves pretty locked down. This undercling has proven to be pretty tough. He's getting his feet high. He's got his feet really high. Oh, just pulling into it. So I don't know exactly what's happening with it, but based on the creaking and cracking that I heard when he first settled into it, when he almost got into a stein, it sounds like it might have lost a little grip inside the hold. So this thing's going to prove to be a pretty tricky hold to hold onto. Even with perfect technique, I think it's just going to be a matter of really keeping that tool completely quiet and directional in that thing once you figure out exactly how to load it. And the underclings, they require this really high feet. You've got to drive up into them with your legs and keep your core super engaged. The tighter your core is, obviously the better this thing's going to be. But the higher your feet and the harder you drive into it, when it does blow out, obviously you saw Noah taking some pretty good skips and falls out of this thing. he's still smiling. We got that much going. I think he might throw a tool at he might throw a tool at Marcus by the end of this, but he's still smiling right now. Got the 2-minute call. Noah Bergman working hard on the beginning of this route. This thing is so technical and physical. It's one of Marcus's specialties. He makes these routes that are just absolutely beast to hold on to, especially because you need to have perfect technique on them while you're exceptionally strong. They are just mind-blowing to watch. This thing is... We're definitely going to have a handful of competitors, I think, that are going to work through this thing. Noah, obviously, he worked through this thing on his first go, basically kind of on-sided right through this technical crux. Struggling with it pretty hard at this moment. It's just a matter of keeping that tool. He's got to keep that thing pressed way up in there. Based on his first go, we heard some crackling and some snapping and crackling and popping inside that hole. I'm wondering if he maybe didn't take out a little bit of an edge that was in there that was allowing those tools to bite, which is going to make it even harder moving forward. So we'll see what the rest of the competitors have in their arsenal for this thing. Come on, Noah. The high feet, driving up into it. Timer calling 30 seconds left for Noah's run. He is just hell-bent on working his way through this thing. Every single bit of progression you can make on this route gets you that many more points. So the idea is, even if you only have 30 seconds left, you can't climb the full route. You just throw yourself at it. You try to make it just one hold further than you even made it the first time. Yeah. Neat. Dude. Heck of a fight, man. Still there? Oh yeah, there it is. Man, when you first steined into it, like you settled into a stein and it cracked and popped, it was like, oh no. Yeah. Oh, good. All right. So Noah giving this thing his all. Marcus in here kind of checking the route out, making sure all the holds are still intact. I think everything's good. We got the mad scientist just says these guys need to try harder. It's not that hard, right? It's like golf. You just put the ball in the hole. What's so hard about it? If you don't like that hole, you just go to the next one. All right, so that was Noah Bergman. Who we got next? Kevin Lindlau. All right, we got Kevin Lindlau up next. He's coming down from Bozeman. This guy is a beast. I've known him for 4 or 5 years now. Watching him progress in climbing has been so incredibly fun. And we'll back over here into this corner, kind of get out of these guys' way while they're doing the preview. So Tomas is giving Kevin the quick rundown, 7, 8, 9, just counting these holds through. Essentially giving him this, quick little 30-second preview. Then Kevin will be able to walk back through the route, check everything out, figure out exactly how he wants to use all these holds. Obviously, we are seeing a huge technical crux at the beginning of this route. It can't be understated. A lot of these guys, a lot of competitors will kind of walk the route, and you get used to looking at the route. You kind of walk through it, you glance at it, you figure out, oh, this doesn't look too bad, especially when it's early on. But when you have a really technical crux at the beginning, a lot of people will kind of overlook that. So it's he's definitely feeling that Sam hold out, getting a feel for exactly how he wants to load that thing. You can see them. They're allowed to touch the holds with their hands, with their fingers. They're allowed to kind of feel what the hold feels like to make sure it's a soft plastic, hard stone. He's dug his finger into that donut. He's got the undercling. feeling out which dimple's best on top of that green hold. And he's getting into these little welded V, kind of Krukenogi V things. These are absolutely ridiculous holds to hold on to, especially with as physical as this route's going to be. I think if there's any competitor that I know so far that has a good chance at moving through this technical crux and getting into the physical stuff, it's definitely Kevin. This guy is just beastly strong. Also has an amazing climbing IQ. He's been on the USA mixed and ice climbing team for a handful of years now. Training hard, really regularly. Really familiar with all these holds, knows exactly how to use every one of them. It's just a matter of, kind of visualizing and executing. You can see him works his feet across. Didn't quite like the undercling. Didn't think he had it quite there. Reset his feet, moved back across, reset it. Stood up into it. He's looking at it. He's this undercling is going to be trouble. Marcus putting the hurt on these guys nice and early. Oh no. So he dropped his tool. Once your tool is out of your hand, it hits the ground, it becomes off limit. You can continue climbing if you want, if you feel like you can climb this rest of this route with one tool in one hand. Obviously not the best decision, especially once you're just at the start hold. So he opted to hop off, pick up his tool, restart again. Caught that undercling. You can see him really working hard at that thing. Duck down underneath it, looking up into it, figuring out if there's a little secret lip or a pocket in there that he can dig just the tip of the tool into. Again, working across that SAM hold into this undercling. So these are basically, I think they're an epoxy hold? A resin? Okay. So these things are just bullet hard. They're bullet hard. They don't allow the tools to purchase at all. Calling a technical? All right. We are calling a technical. This donut is gone. So obviously, we've been seeing a bunch of guys, getting into this undercling, skating out of this thing. If you can get up underneath this thing, I don't know if we can get the cord's not quite long enough. So down up inside this thing, you can see the majority of the hold's silver. The molded plastic inside is actually orange. You can see there's a whole ton of orange, and then there's this little groove right here in the center where that tool, you've got to get up in underneath that, get those high feet and hook into that. And if there's not enough lip in there, it doesn't really matter how hard you press. The tool is just pulling through this hold. So they've called a technical. I think they're going to pull this hold off. It sounds like they may replace it. I'm not sure what that means for anybody who was climbing on this previously. I know Kevin is the one that called the technical, so I know he will get a redo. I'm not sure what they're going to do with the guys who have already climbed and skated off of this thing, so that's to be determined.
Everything changes.
was sketchy from the start, really. Yeah, this was a scary undercling, and then it continued to get worse and worse. So yeah, luckily a technical has been called. So hopefully, yeah, get to try it again with a fresh hold. Yeah. Excited. Lost a little time. No, it's
You don't get close-ups on the competitors like this often. We're gonna really stop it as much as we can.
should have trimmed down.
So what do you think of their outsetting so far? I know you were very familiar with you're one of Marcus's.
Yeah, I think it's super fun. So I love the style of movement. And yeah, whether it's more of a mix of technical and power climbing so far. Granted, I'm only 4 moves in, so we'll see what the rest are.
Right.
But yeah,
The qualifiers live up to good qualifying routes.
Yeah,
I think they're giving you a good demonstration of what you're going to kind of see in the final.
Totally, yeah, they're definitely tricky in qualifiers. There was some stumpers in there for sure, and it's a really tough format, having only 7 minutes, so being able to decide if you still have time to climb and continue, give it another go or save your energy for the next section. So, it's definitely a tough format that we don't see very often. This style of climbing with the bouldering, Drytool comp is awesome. Wish we did more of these. This is a blast.
Right.
Yeah, usually more powerful climbing this way, and core stuff, and sometimes you see on ropes. So
Yeah.
definitely stoked on it so far. Yeah, definitely jazzed.
Watch, that's for sure.
Yeah. Let's see, maybe that'll be nice to put on a nice hole for it.
I'm not sure what he did. Looks like he took the silver donut off and then put the silver donut back on.
Put a jug on, right? Yeah.
All right, so we have the route reset. Kevin's gonna get his timer. Basically, he had 6 minutes to start. So he worked his way through. It looks like he had 3 minutes and 5 seconds left on that route. So basically, what they have done is because that hold became unusable, he called a technical. They came over, they inspected the route, they decided that it was indeed not usable. So they've pulled it off the wall, they've replaced it or re-angled it, they've done something. I'm not exactly sure what change they made. So now they're restarting the timer at 3:05, which is the amount of time he had left. So essentially it's like he's just in the middle of his previous run. Hopefully with a usable hold this time. Looking good so far. Nice. He's come through that Gaston. He's on the side pull, working his way onto the rodeo box. Once he cuts feet and gets onto this rodeo box, I think he's going to be in terrain that he is very, very comfortable in. A lot of these guys are super, super strong, really, really, really good with hanging upside down inversions, flip-flopping between figure 4s, figure 9s. The technical crux is it doesn't really matter how strong you are. Sometimes they just are really tough to hold on to. Once you get into this kind of more physical style climbing with the 2-minute call, once you start getting into this more physical style climbing, this is where you're going to see these guys kind of take off like race cars, I think. Might take them a minute to get that technical crux figured out, and then they're going to get into this terrain and just start cruising. This is where the climbing is going to get really, really entertaining. So this little V, it's basically two steel dowels on this hanging door. Comes up into the undercling, hits the Stein pole, gets those feet worked out. Yeah, we're about to get it. Come on, Kev. Working his way down onto this Kukunogi hold. dropping straight onto it. Really nice release. That was perfect. Come on, bud. And he's got to work his way up into this hook. Yeah, if he gets the hook nice and shallow, he's got the, yeah, bud, come on. Can hear the crowd, just everybody screaming, nice, bud, come on. Can hear everybody outside the gym screaming at him.
You got it, dude. Come on.
He's trying to get the box rock, and he's got to come across over to this big volume.
You got it, man. Breathe, man. You got it.
Oh, he's right there. He's just got to get this thing rocking just a tiny bit more. Oh, nice, bud. Man. That's an amazing fight. Now that we got this technical section worked out, I think these guys are going to make pretty quick work of this thing if they can hold on to that undercling and it doesn't explode again. Obviously, you saw once he worked through that technical crux, he got that undercling and the Gaston worked out. Once he got into this overhanging terrain, he took off like a race car. That was with 3 minutes and 5 seconds left. If one of these guys can manage to on-site through that technical crux and they have the full 6 minutes, I think you're gonna watch these guys just roll across this roof. This move coming off of this, it's a pretty good hold. It's it's a jug, but it's a kind of a sideways tool. This thing is just rocking and rolling underneath you. So to get the momentum swinging back and forth to where you can come up and hook onto this guy, and then cut feet, kick over into this wall, that's going to be super physical. It's going to be fun to watch. This whole section through this overhanging door and onto this box was really entertaining. I think we have a couple more competitors that are super capable of giving this thing a full go. Based on what I'm seeing through this thing, it's a very hard, very physical route. But these guys are more than capable. We've got some world-class athletes competing tonight. What do we got up next? We got Tyler Kempney. Tyler, one of the key proponents of putting this whole thing on. He's one of the driving forces behind the ice coop. Coming in wearing the ice coop chicken jersey. He doesn't have the hammer pants on. I'm wondering if that's going to affect him physically. He has some magic hammer pants that he wears that are super. They're very flashy. Let's say that. I think they give him an extra 10 horsepower at least.
Now you can only use the bottom, the right side is taped off.
So Tomas giving Tyler the tour of the route, which is a little strange. Normally Tyler's the one in here setting these routes, but because he is competing, he is not allowed to set routes. So little strange watching the master getting the tour here. He's got another handful of moments to kind of go through, feeling his way through, checking that Sam hold out, that first kind of technical bit. Dropping the mask, he is down to business, folks. With the Pepto Pink chicken jersey, Team Ice Coop on the sleeve. Flashy new red camp helmet. Nobody has those things yet. Tyler's 6 minute is moving. So Tyler also on the Team USA Ice and Mixed Climbing team. Definitely one of the strongest competitors in the world of ice and mixed climbing right now. This guy lives to train. lives to try hard. He is constantly stoked. Also very accomplished in the Alpine. He has put up a couple of really just heady first ascents up in the Longs Peak Cirque, on some ice up on the Lower East Face. The guy's just mega accomplished, technically, physically. Manages to stick all that technical with a little bit of crux first go. Now he's in his home terrain where he's comfortable hanging upside down from one hand. Kicking in on the bottom of the rodeo box. Matching tools on that purple hold, going into the figure 4. It's going to give him a nice big reach up. And if you see how high he gets on his wrist on that figure 4, a lot of people will get into figure 4s and they drop down into their elbow because it's really comfortable and it's kind of the natural place where your leg wants to sit. But it doesn't give you a whole lot of range of motion. So you're going to see these guys, they're going to get into that figure 4, they're going to get the back of their knee way up on their wrist, almost on top. It's like some of these guys, they get so high it's almost on top of their hand, but that gives you a huge range of motion. Nice, just gets that Kukunogi, the little double V hold, right as his feet cut. gives it a tap for good measure. So this is another one of the big moves. Get your feet kicked into the wall. You got to stand up. Using his hand on the arete, bringing a little mixed climbing technique into it. Working his feet up just a bit higher. Oh no! And then, yeah. Gets his feet up nice and high. He was just getting reset for that big reach up into the Stein pull, and the Kukunogi said no. It said "Niet." That's the extent of my Russian right there. "Niet." So again, this is a red point format, so he is going to reset. He's getting back onto the start of the route. Super familiar with the SAM hold. He knows exactly how to use these things. So if there's anybody in this place that's familiar with how to use every single one of the holds in this gym, it's this guy. Normally he's the one in here setting. Oh! Just loses the pick, barn doors out just enough to where his foot comes out. Gets a dab. 2 minutes 30 seconds was the call from the time. Gets into that undercling, working his feet across. Matching tools in the undercling. Oh! Wasting no time, jumping right back onto it. This is a pretty tough format when you only have the 6 minutes to climb. Every time you come off, even, especially when you're deep into the route, the further into the route you get, when you come off, you got a whole bunch of ground to make up to restart. But every hold you make counts as points toward your final score. So even if you only have 30 seconds on this thing, if you can just better your last attempt by one hold, it gives you that much better position. Tyler's moved across, he's onto the rodeo box. Into the figure 9. Gonna match, he's gonna probably swap into the figure 4. Nope. Just get the second tool on. Now he's going to the figure 4. Ooh, the tool skated pretty gnarly. Alright, now he's got it reset. Big reach up to this green hold. bumps the tool, gets it set. He likes what he sees. Gets those feet kicked in. Goes into the reverse grip, matches. Decides the reverse grip match on that thing is not what he wants. Gets onto the B, cuts feet, set, he's going up. Goes up to the Stein, sticks the Stein, cuts feet. Missed his first couple of kicks, but he's back on. He is set. Come on, Tyler. Time. Oh, man. Man, nice work, bud. Oh, so this, holy mackerel. Like, when you see Tyler falling off stuff, you know this thing is physical, because this guy is one of the strongest, one of the most technically competent climbers in the room right now. So we have, looks like Cody Stevenson up next, lovingly referred to as the Munchkin. I have permission to call you the Munchkin from your mom, buddy. Sorry. Another, just one of the young guns. This kid is so strong. Is he 16, 17? Just turned 17. This is one of the up-and-coming stars in the U.S. mixed climbing game. He has been competing at the World Cup level for 2 years? 2 years now he's on the World Cup? Yeah. So he has just been absolutely crushing it. I've had the pleasure of watching this guy come out when he was, I don't know, he was 14, 15, yeah, little tiny guy, like, and just absolutely slaying it. Comes in the plaid shirt. Yeah. So this kid is at home swinging from one tool like the monkey bars. Anybody who follows the ice coop, anybody who has followed any of this dry tooling stuff, you've probably seen Cody in here just getting absolutely rowdy. They usually have one big box kind of set in the back of this main cave, and it's suspended from chains. It's got a handful of holds on it, and basically they have a competition to see who can, jump the furthest or who can swing the hardest. And Cody is always one of those. He's just one of those guys who's just absolutely crushing it with everybody. Super fun to watch climb. His IQ, his climbing IQ has developed so much over the past couple of years. He has grown at least a foot since I've met him. So he's kind of coming into that physical prime where he is just getting so strong. And also getting, really smart with how he's climbing. So we got the quick route preview from Tomas. He's working his way back through from the finish toward the start, just kind of working his holds out, figuring out exactly what he's dealing with. Going from the lumberjack to the tomato. All right, he is officially en route. His 6 minutes have started. Again, this is a red point style competition. These competitors have as many goes as they need to make a route go in 6 minutes, as long as they stay within that window. They get a 2-minute preview. They are not allowed to touch the hold with their tools. They can feel it with their fingers, their hands, just to kind of get an idea of what the hold feels like. But once they are en route, that is the only time they're allowed to use their tools. And scoping that undercling out, that thing has been troublesome to say the least tonight. Through the SAM hold into the undercling. Getting those high feet. You can see him locked off of this undercling. That is such a physical thing to hold. He's moving across into this tenuous little kind of Gaston, falls into it beautifully. Super smooth. That is exactly how you need to work that hold. Moving on to the rodeo box. It's going in with a reverse grip, going to the figure 4, touches that toe in, gets nice and stable. Works the figure 9 across the bottom of the rodeo box, gets that tool nice and set. Again into the figure 4. There's going to be a whole lot of figure 4s, figure 9s going on. Swaps for the 9 for the 4, reaches up, juggles the tool into first position. That was beautiful. He's got his feet in the bottom of the rodeo box, coming across to the bottom of the swinging door, cuts feet, moves them over, kicks across, stem through the corner. Doing a little tool swap. Got some tool juggling, got some tool spinning. He's going up to this Stein pole. You can watch him regrip, gets that left hand into the second position. It's going to give him a little higher reach. Goes up that right tool in 3.5 position. He is way up on there. Fortunately, it's a really positive Stein. Moving across, he's going to hold 11, which is this door hinge, also called the bridge. Super physical, really technical to release onto that. He's going to get this Krukonogi. Goes into the figure 4, loads straight down onto that. Asking for a time check. Do we have a time check? Works across into the hook. He's got the head steined in. Beautiful. Working across the big hanging box. Oh no! Just pops a tool. Got 2:20 left. He is jumping back in. Cody asking if that hold broke. Based on how it kind of popped off, it was a super positive hold. I think it just got a little bit sideways on him when that box started swinging. Resets. He's back into the SAM hold. Onto that 4th hold undercling, which appears to have been fixed. Working on that Gaston, just pops out of that undercling before he had the Gaston really set, had his feet set. Once you're onto that 5th block and you get your feet set, that undercling can pop a little bit and you can kind of control the swing, but until then, you're kind of at the mercy of the barn door. Working his way into that undercling. He's got that lock off held. That is such a physical move. You can see him working his feet up a little bit. Come on, bud. You got it. Showing a little bit of frustration, but he's going to get back on. This kid is a natural-born competitor. He really wants to just crush every route that he gets on.
Come on, Cody. You got it. Come on.
Matches in the undercling. Gets onto the Gaston. Nice. 30-second time call. He's got to make some pretty serious ground here. If there's anybody who's capable of climbing extremely physical terrain extremely fast, though, it's this kid.
Come on, Cody.
Come on, bud. Nice. There you go. Time. Nice fight, dude.
Nice work.
Good effort, bud. Comes in, checks out that hold that popped out from under him. I think it's a good hold. It's really positive. Looking at it, it doesn't appear that it has any. It's not broken at all. So we've got Marcus and Tomas looking at it again, making sure it's not broken. I think what ends up happening is you've got to load this thing just right, and as this box starts rocking and rolling, once it swings out, if your tool kind of separates from it at all, it just lets go. So I think that's what ended up getting him. Obviously, anytime you pop off a hold suddenly, you're allowed to ask the judges to look at the hold, to review it, kind of check it out. They came over, Marcus and Tomas both inspected it, decided it's still good to go. We saw earlier with Kevin Linlau checking that undercling, he was exploding off of this thing time and time again on a hold that, while very physically difficult, should have been somewhat, relatively doable, and he was just exploding off of it left and right. He made the call, said, "Hey, can you come look at this hold?" Obviously, they deemed it not okay. They called the technical, they fixed the hold, and now the competition's moving on. So, looks like all the holds are still intact. We got Keenan doing his run through quickly with Tomas right now. Keenan, another just young gun from the front range. Watching these young guys come up. I've been, fortunate enough to be the old crusty guy climbing with these kids for the last 4 or 5 years now, and just watching them develop and watching them kind of come into their own and mature as climbers and as people. It's been really, really cool to watch. Keenan, he's easily one of the strongest climbers I've ever met. This kid is just an absolute crusher. He's had a lot of success this year with a bunch of really hard rock climbing. He is, pulling down on like 13 rock climbing, climbing, M13, M14, just big lines. M15, I think, is what some of his projects up in Vail. So this kid he's got it. It's just a matter of, can you put it together when the nerves are there. Rocking the purple and red FootJoy golf gloves, hot pink ice coop jersey, blue pants with a camo butt patch, and orange boots. He might get the brightest competitor award tonight. Making quick work through the undercling. Working over onto that Gaston. Dropping onto it, nice and control so perfectly. The high feet, huge body tension. This is perfect. This young gun is giving us a master class right now in how to climb this route. Oh, that's not a camouflage butt print. That's floral print. That's even better. all the knee patches. At least he's got new gloves. There he is. Reaches across through that inversion, throws the figure 9 up onto this green hold, this 8th hold. He's going to work across, comes into this little dowel V Krukanogi hold. These things are really devious. You have to keep them loaded super statically, which, given this next move, is pretty difficult. Dispatching this route really nicely right now. Cotton feet, the one-arm lock off and sitting down. Showing exactly how physical this kid can get right now. throws the figure 4. You can hear him taking a couple deep breaths. Gets onto the hook on the flying box. Got a good solid Stein. Works up reverse grip onto this next hold. That's a new style we have not seen yet. I think that might pay off. The tricky part of this thing is this box. Once you load it, it wants to fall away from the other wall, which is where he needs to be. So figuring out how to go from statically hanging upside down on this thing to getting it rocking and rolling, swinging back and forth over to where he can make this reach. This is where this route's going to get really rowdy. You can see him working his core, kind of trying to get that thing to swing a bit. Got to do these really perfectly timed sit-ups. Gets it moving. Gets the core engaged. Yeah, there it is. Boom. Cuts the feet. Gets over to block 15. Getting it. Come on, bud. Cannot even describe how physical the climbing is at this point. On another Sam hold. This one looks like it's pretty bomber. Some of these things are really skatey. Some of them are good. He's working across up onto the cowbell. It's got to find that pocket. Got the pocket on that cowbell. This little blue stalactite. So he's going to work his way across. He's going onto the hanging pyramid at this point. Cuts feet. Drops into a figure 4. Nice controlled swing. Takes a good healthy hack into the log. Just below the red line, he is still well in bounds. Gets a hand on the log to help him stabilize a little bit. Takes another good hack. He's got it as high as he can possibly get it while he's still in bounds. Get that good soft wood. He's got really good tools in it, but it makes him really tough to get back out. And he's got the big pocket at the end of this log. He's got his hand worked over. Oh, he's going straight for it. Shaking out. This is how strong this kid. He can shake out and rest in an inversion after all of this climbing. I don't know about you guys. I get into an inversion. I get about 3 good seconds. This guy's resting and getting it back. So close to the ground right now. Works his way. Doing a big core, big sit-up. He's got to get this rod locking. Asks the judges if the end of the log, there's an enormous pocket on the end of the log. Asks if that's in. He is about 1 inch off the ground right now. If his back touches the ground, they call that a dab, and that would just be absolutely heartbreaking. Come on, bud. Keep it off the ground. Gets one more. He's getting that log rocking. Come on, bud.
Come on, man.
Come on, Keaton.
Come on.
Oh, time's out with 1 move left to the finish. Nice effort, man. That was just beastly, dude. Man. All right, so just in case anybody was under the impression that Marcus set these routes that were impossible, obviously we are being shown that these things are doable. We've got one more competitor coming through. We got Liam Foster. Liam Foster, one of the strongest people I've ever met in my life. This kid is just an absolute monster. He's coming out of the Marcus Garcia training camp. He is what we lovingly refer to as one of Marcus's mutants. Marcus gets his hands on these kids, puts them in the gym. I don't think he feeds them or gives them water. He sets them, chains them into the gym for 3 months at a time. And just these guys these kids come out, they go into this gym, kind of spindly little 12, 13-year-olds, and they come out 14, 15, and just absolute monsters. They can climb basically anything. Liam Foster is a prime example of that. He went from climbing 5'11", 2 years ago, to just dispatched his first 14 this year. Skipped over 12. He just decided, I'm not even going to touch 12. He just went straight from 11D to like 13A. The kid's an absolute monster.
Right over here.
Always has the Euro pants. You will never mistake Keenan or Liam at a crag. So he's getting his quick rundown through Tomas right now. Still holding on to the packaging of his new gloves. This is a good sign. Most of the time he shows up in gloves that look like they've been made into a rat's nest for the past 3 months. We got shiny new gloves. These are unheard of for Liam. Usually this part to this part to this part are missing. His gloves are gloves on the outside. They're not much use on the inside. He was actually told during qualifying or during warm-up, he was warming up in one of his old beater sets, and he was told that he was not allowed to compete until he had new gloves. Because having gloves in this place is one of the requirements, just because of the style of climbing and having the tools. So they actually red flagged his warm-up gloves. So this guy will be one of the most fun people to watch climb for sure. Him and Cody, I absolutely love watching these two climb. They are so gymnastic, so physical, just absolute. They're just chronic overstokers. All they want to do is swing around upside down. And this guy has put in so much work over the past couple of years to become just an absolute crusher. Confirm with the judges, he has started officially 6 minutes in. Keenan Grissom put down a heck of a run. He ended up timing out one hold from the final. He had gotten the log rocking and rolling. Just touched the final hold a couple times, but couldn't quite get to it. It's going to be really fun to watch Liam chasing that same point standing. He's got a couple of messages written to himself on his glove. On one thumb it says relax, the other thumb says calm. My gloves typically say don't cry. You can hear how silent he's being, just working his way through these things. Just absolutely so strong. He is hardly working at this point. Just an absolute testament. I mean, look at that. He just lost feet, one arm, still managed to keep his core tight enough that he was in a one-arm lock-off sitting position and managed to pull himself back on. That was unbelievable. Yeah. Mark is definitely happy to take some credit on this kid. Liam working his way across the hanging door onto this bridge, this door hinge hold. Series of five holds on this thing. Catches the bottom one, gets himself down in the lowest possible position for the drop onto this guy. Goes in on a figure 9, drops straight onto it. Perfect technique. Works his way up into a high second position. Gets it rocking. Catches the hook, gets it steined in. Super solid. This thing is bomber. Works his way across onto hold 14. Doesn't like how he's looking. Goes into the reverse grip. Whew! So just the fact that he's able to control that release when that thing pops so suddenly, that is just a testament to this kid's strength. That would buck 98% of the people that climb right off. He's up in the figure 4. He's got to get this box rocking. You can see him timing his sit-ups, getting his core engaged, trying to get this thing swinging in any way that allows him to get closer over to that 15 hold. It's about a 5-foot gap. You can see him getting that thing moving. There it is. Now he's got it. Got it rocking and rolling, bud. Come on. He's got that thing swinging. He's going straight for it. Oh, just misses. Next one. Yeah! So precise. So precise. Yeah! Cuts feet, jumps over. Boom. Onto the Bomber Sam hold. Number 16. Gonna work up into this stalactite. Finds the pocket super easy. Working his way across. Into the home stretch. Nice big hack into this log. Perfect technique. Come on. Big hacks. He means business. This kid is absolutely crushing right now. Working that tool loose. Nice, gets that final release. So this good soft wood, it's nice for good tool sticks. Really hard to get your tool released from them. Don't let that tool hit the ground. Oh no! The tool hits the ground. Ah! Dabbed. Oh, and he figures out the last move, unfortunately, after he had dabbed.
40 seconds? Okay.
Oh, give it hell, bud. Oh, man. I was like watching that tool rock around. It was like, don't let it fall. Don't let it fall. Ah. Heartbreaking. He had his tool stuck in the log, let it go to switch positions, and the thing just wobbled loose, fell down. He couldn't quite catch it. Once those tools fall out of your hand, you lose possession of them. They hit the ground. They are considered off limits. And then, you saw him kind of work through. He really had the beta figured out, though. He kicked across. He used his hands, just pressed up against the end of the log, stood up into it, matched on the end of it, had it super dialed, figured out. It was just so unfortunate, dude. That was awesome, man. That was heartbreaking. I'm not sure what the scoring is yet. We're gonna have I think we're gonna have a close two-way between Liam Foster and Keenan Grissom, man. These kids are just absolute crushers. Both of them got out to the finish hold. I think Keenan might have edged Liam out because he was still under control, making that reach, touched the hold. He never controlled it, but I think he touched it, whereas Liam just had that tool pop, fell down, and then as he We got tons of replays. What'd you say? Okay.
Oh man,
I thought he like ricocheted off of it.
Did you watch?
Close. Yeah. Close.
How was it?
No, so that
Okay, I literally was like talking with Lois. I was literally texting Lois the entire time.
Are killing it. You're slaying it.
What else should I put right now? Right now it says awaiting results. Also, where are we doing podium?
So it sounds.
Next door if we can.
So we need to move the computer and the camera. We have enough.
We have what?
Huh? We could. Do you want the live stream to keep going, or do you want us to end it? Well, it's easy. We just untape this and carry the camera with us.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
So we are confirmed with the judges right now, trying to figure out who the winner of this thing is. It sounds like Keenan and Liam both managed to get to the same position. Keenan, I was under the impression that Keenan had at least swung out and ricocheted off the finish hold. We looked at some video replay. It looks like he bounced off the wall near it. He never touched the hold. So technically they're saying Liam and Keenan made it to the same position on the finals route, which means essentially they have tied in the final, and it reverts back to whoever had the better qualifying score, which Liam did. So it's sounding like Liam may have edged Keenan out. We're still conferring, but based on what I'm being told, that sounds like what's happening right now. We'll let you know here shortly.
But I checked out after the finals, and then I drank 2 beers, and now I'm here.
So do we have any towels in here?
Yes.
All right, so let's just move the camera out with this laptop, and then we can just throw it on a tripod and have the finals being streamed.
Do you still need this power pack?
Which one?
This one.
No.
Okay. Just want to make sure I grab my shit before I forget.
Hey, hey, Drew, can you untape this computer real quick?
Tomas, you did so good.
What?
Tomas, you did so good.
Did I?
I bet you beer too. You get the beer.
I gotta go to work after this.
You have to go to work after this?
And I have to go help with something before I get home.
Where do I take the official final
Before I
score?
go home. I'm gonna look at the farm and do my stuff tomorrow.
Keiko, where should I take
What
the
are we-
official final scores?
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah, I got official
That
final
was sick.
scores here.
Oh, these guys.
What are they?
They're nuts. So freaking strong. Yeah, literally monsters.
Liam's a
Okay.
monster, dude.
With the
guy's a
camera and the
monster.
computer, it should all be at the same time. Kind of?
Okay, so we have computer. We just need to have the computer and the mic going. That's all we need. Do we want to walk over there right now?
Oh man.
All the people.
Let me ask. Keiko, are we going right now?
The camera's on camera.
Yes,
Okay.
Amazing.
I'm sorry, you're asking Keiko like 2 beers and the rest
Keiko's psyched.
Keiko, can you do me a favor?
There's Keiko Stoker. When
Keiko.
she's get a couple beers deep, she's like,
Can you grab my last beer in that 6-pack and walk it over while I'm carrying this?
No, I'm gonna buy you a beer.
That's fine too.
You can leave that one here.
no, that's a Buddha Ranger. I'll take it.
Sam's gonna take your beer.
I'm gonna
I'll
take
buy
your
you a
last beer. She's
too.
gonna buy you one. I'm
Are we
gonna
gonna
take
be
this
able
one.
to
Sam will
stay
buy you a beer
connected
too.
to this
So-
Oh shit!
internet?
You're right. We can't do
we
this.
have internet access over
I don't
there.
know if we can change.
Hop.
If we change. Yeah, we can.
Oh, you can't change it?
Wait, what?
Where Vision Plus are doing it?
Just right on there, check Instagram. Ice Coop Instagram.
Okay,
Are we
so
still on?
And we'll just do
We're
Instagram
still-
Live.
So
We're
hold on
still on
one
there,
second. So what we're gonna do you want if we announce what it is on stream right now,
Okay.
everyone there is gonna see it.
Okay.
So do you
Okay,
want
so where are we? Where
we
are our
need an
final
executive
results?
decision to be made because he could announce who the winner is right now. But
Or we can announce
It takes
on
the podium.
Instagram.
yeah,
And then
Yeah,
show
let's just
podium.
okay.
So here.
I'll tell everybody
We
to
can
move
just
over
do
to the
it on
Instagram
phone.
live.
think of
It's
something
fine.
right now to say
Say,
hey.
everyone tune in to Instagram Live.
Okay.
We're gonna do podiums and final results over there.
Okay.
Sorry, you're less.
Yeah, no worries.
You get 30 seconds to think about what you want to say before I say stuff.
All right.
Save your best. We love you. I'm buying you a beer.
Tripping and stumbling my way through
I'm like
this shit.
Oprah right now.
Right.
Everybody gets a beer. You get a beer. You get a beer. You get a beer. Marcus, you get a beer.
Thank you.
I've had beer. Hey, hold on. Don't go until I say.
Okay.
One
I
second,
would
you have to
totally give
clarify
my
something.
Hold on.
I can sleep in.
Are you on live?
Not yet.
Okay,
We're all getting beer tonight.
where was Liam on this? Because Keenan probably won.
He was in this guy.
He was in this one?
His left tool fell out of this, hit the ground. He was in this guy.
You were
He
in
was established.
He was established in this.
21.
Yeah.
He went to
Sick.
move.
Okay. I thought, because from the live stream it looked like you were this.
No, he was established.
Sick.
21, 20 drop.
You thought I was going to get here and then go over there? I tried.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna leave
And his
the
tool fell out of
beer for
sight.
Tyler.
He was established 21, and then his foot down was kind of working sick.
Okay, where do we want you?
So you guys were both established on 21.
Because we don't need to know the finals results.
Sam, where do we want to film this?
Are we doing it with these guys? Or they're just okay? All right.
Over here, I have a 30-second spiel about how we had great competitors, we had a great competition, we had a great setting, we had great every blah blah blah. Do a recap and then say we're having results revealed at Vision Quest Brewing in Boulder in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, and then thank you for joining the live stream. Have a great night, and then I'll cut the stream.
We'll post them on Instagram.
Okay.
And it's free live. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to go, and then when I give you a thumbs up, you're live.
Okay. I'm ready to rock whenever.
Okay, so
Yeah, so I grabbed this one.
hey guys,
Actually, I need to
don't
get up.
go behind
I gotta-
Sam while he's talking right now. Not right now, but when we start. He's got to pee first. Pee break. I learned my mistakes. I cut all the mics when we got it back soon. What are we gonna do?
Yeah. Like, oh my God, what's happening?
Okay, find a spot where you're ready to go, and then let me know when you're ready.
Right here? Yeah, good to go.
Mic on. Okay, hold on. Hey guys, don't walk through this until he's done. Okay? And everybody quiet for a second. And we're gonna go.
Oh, hold on.
No, you're good. You're good.
Am I good? Okay.
Go test 1, 2.
Test 1, 2.
And you're live in 3, 2, 1.
Hi. Welcome back, everybody. We are getting ready to announce the winners over at Vision Quest. We first wanted to say thank you, everybody who tuned in. Glenn is psyched right now. Just wanted to give everybody the heads up. It looked like we had a really close competition. We are tallying the results, figuring out who won right now. We're going to do the live announcement on Instagram over at Vision Quest Brewing. We're having some Wi-Fi issues with trying to walk next door with all the camera gear. So unfortunately, we're not going to bring it to you on the live feed, but tune in to Instagram Live right now on the Ice Coop page. We're going to have the live results. We had a heck of a competition. We want to say huge thank you to everybody who came out, to the Ice Coop for hosting us, to Rock and Resole, to Camp, to Scarpa, just Sterling, everybody that pitched into this to make this an amazing event. Marcus for the route setting, Tomas for just absolutely crushing it. Tyler, thank you for putting this whole thing together. You are such an awesome man. Okay, Keiko, she's giving me the stink eye. Keiko, come here. Yeah, we need a big hug. We need a hug.
Hello.
Hi. Another absolute key player in this whole thing. The Ice Coop they worked so hard to put this thing together. We just can't say thank you enough for hosting this community. Just absolutely fantastic. So please tune in to the Instagram Live channel. We are going next door. We will announce the winners shortly. We're gonna have the podium ceremony, everything over there. So thank you guys for tuning in. See ya.
letting him hug it. Cody won't let me hug him. Good, Sam.
Thanks,
You
friends.
crushed it, my man. Thank you. This is freaking fun. No, like you
I'm
have to.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I have no idea what I'm doing. I didn't know who was involved. I just know Tyler's involved. Tyler's literally the only person I know that's involved. I'm so sorry. We're like, Tyler, what the fuck, man? I'm over here.
No, I said nothing.
Somebody else.
But this was super. This was really watch it and just listen. Like you
You did so good.
Nice.
So let's all get beer.
Absolutely.
Let's all get beer.
Colby.